Okay, okay. Oh my God. Today it's September 14, and I'm here with my dear friend Samuel Mojica.
Yo, yo.
I'm here like interviewing him. It's a true honor just to interview him. His story is phenomenal. It's going to inspire you. It's going to put you on your tippy toes because what you're about to hear is really impressive, really impressive. So, Samuel, for all my viewers who will be watching this interview, they would love to know who is Samuel Mojica and what's his story? What's this inspiring story that Ria is talking about? And I'd love for you to let us, bring us from that journey from being a bread factory worker and what led you into quitting the job and moving on
All right,
to.
cool, cool. Yeah, I'll first thank you so much for having me on here, Ria. Hey guys, my name is Samuel Mojica. I'm very humbled to even be interviewed. Imagine that, right? I was a bread factory worker 2 years ago, and now I'm appearing on interviews with other leaders, right? It's baffling. I never would have thought this would be happening back at that bread factory. So let me take you back to that day. 2 years ago, right, I used to work at a bread factory. And if you work a factory job or you work a full-time position at a hard labor job, whether that's construction, baking, any of that stuff, it's long hours, typically 10 hours minimum. It goes all the way up to 14 hours a day. And at that job, you learn a lot about yourself, right? You learn about your work ethic. You learn about the fact that you can do anything, right? You get the job done. Doesn't matter how dangerous it is, doesn't matter what's involved. You simply do whatever it takes to get the job done and earn your money, right? Because you have no other choice, right? I'm not college educated, right? I have only a high school diploma and I didn't have interest in going to college, right? I knew I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make money, right? I'm young, right? Young and dumb, and I
Yeah.
wanted to make money. So the thing that made the most sense to me is get a job. Now, I did not get a job until I reached probably the lowest point in my life where, my family, we lost everything. We were on the streets. And I realized I had that moment of weakness that I didn't have the money to
Mm,
help my family off the streets, right? It took a while for us to get off. And I hated being in that position. And it taught me that I have to go make money. I have to go do something with my life. Right? I
mm,
can't just be at my mom's house all day playing video games, not having a care in the world, right?
mhm.
A lot of young guys who may be watching this, or young girls that may be watching this, you may be in that position where, it's after high school, you have all this free time, you're playing video games or you're going out with friends. You really don't have that much worry or responsibility yet, but don't be like me where it takes your family going through something really messed up, and it does happen really messed up. They lose a house, they lose something, you lose your lifestyle, and now you're forced into a position, right? I wish I would have gotten the job earlier, but anyways, so that happened. I got the bread factory job, thankfully, through a family friend. They hooked me up. It was minimum wage. I was getting paid $11 an hour, a little bit above, like maybe a dollar over minimum wage. $11 an hour. No, 10. Maybe it was $10 an hour.
Oh,
So it was like a dollar above minimum wage.
mm,
And at that job, I still remember. It's funny. You never lose like the the emotions from a position like when you've been working 1 or 2 years at a factory like that, being one of the only employees there running the whole factory. I still remember the smell of bread, right? When I walk into that factory, the sweet smell of bread.
mm.
I still remember the what every single morning at 8:30 a.m. walking into that freezing fridge that has the dough, being inside that fridge every morning for like 10 to 15 minutes, right? It's like doing a cold. Imagine taking a super cold shower and ice cold, like ice in the water,
Ugh.
and you have to step into it for 10 to 15 minutes every morning. I remember doing like, moving the dough weighs 15 to 30 pounds, moving that onto like 6 packs onto the cart, going, then taking it out. So now I'm getting hit with cold and now I'm getting hit with hot, with warm, right? So now I'm like already sweating, going to put the dough into the mixer, turning on the mixer, which by the way, if even just so my hand slips in that mixer will break every single bone in your hand instantly. It's that strong, right? It's powerful. It's dangerous. You have to be really careful with it, right? And then cutting the dough with super sharp knives that I've cut myself God knows how many times because they're so sharp that like literally just touching it will give you a cut.
Oh.
right? And then from throwing it into the flipper, which again, if even just a little tiny piece of my skin on my finger goes inside of the flipper, it'll literally grab your whole, it'll literally break every single bone in your finger. Like it was dangerous, and it was hard, and it was every morning, it was the same thing every morning.
Mm.
But I had to get the job done. That was my job. I had
Yeah.
no other option. That was the job. So after doing that for about a year, I
Hmm.
finally said, you know what?
Mm.
Like, man, I work hard. I almost cursed. I'm sorry. I don't know if your audience curses or not. I almost let it go. But
Oh,
I was
this is
like,
being real.
yeah, I'm like, this is really tough. This is really hard. And it's not that I can't do it. It's that I'm putting in 70, 80 hours a week. And what
Mm.
do I have to show for it? Right? What do I have to show for it? I'm freaking broke. What's in my bank account? What do I have to show for all this work? I have nothing. I have
Yeah.
nothing to show for it. Right? And I
Mm.
wasn't making progress. So I knew that something had to change. Something had to change. So
Something.
what I started doing is, I did what every young person does is I went on the internet and I started researching how do I make money. Right. And obviously I saw some of the things like, okay, there's surveys,
Yeah.
affiliate marketing, there's focus groups. Like I saw some of the things you start to see when you search up the term, how to make
Yeah.
money. Thankfully, now this is actually I'll be honest. I've
Hmm.
questioned whether God exists so many times in my life. It's crazy. But it's moments like this. And I'm being honest. Right? I'm truthful about that. Like I've questioned it many times. But moments like this is what truly gets me to believe, because it's crazy that out of all the thousands of things I found on the internet, I stumbled upon this one marketer, this one internet marketer, and I went on his webinar, and he actually spoke with me one on one. He spoke with me, and what he talked about really made sense.
Mm.
That led me to realize that, wait a minute, he was saying these testimonials, and there's this one guy, 17 years old, made $50,000 in 2 months, young kid, and I'm like, dude, I guarantee you I am working at least 25 hours more than this kid every single week. Guaranteed. There's hands down, I'm outworking this guy. Right? But I'm making like, I don't know, 12, 13 times, 20 times less money. Like I couldn't make sense of it anymore. I'm like, I can't make sense of working here anymore. I
Yeah.
need to do something different. So I was literally I was coming from a place of, all right, I'm gonna make something happen. That guy moved the needle. That one internet marketer who I have the honor of calling my millionaire mentor to this day, 2 years down the road, right? This goes to show the relationship there, right? 2 years down the road,
Mm.
me and that one millionaire internet marketer, we still talk very often. He still gives me wake up calls. Just recently, I did $7,000 in 5 days, right? And
Whoa.
I only did that though because 6 days ago he called me. He called me and he told me, Sam, like I've noticed you've been doing these other things, dude. Like, what are your results, dude? I'm like, fuck, dude. Like these things haven't made me money. And then he's like, dude, wake up, go back to the what I taught you, and I did, and the money's just started flowing. Right. So I met that million. So going back to the story, right? I met that one guy. He pushed the needle for me. He motivated me. He showed me what was possible through the testimonials and through the way he structured it. Right.
Yeah.
And I made a plan. I told him, dude, I don't have the money to join yet. Yet. I
Yeah.
will come up with it. I will, because here's the thing. It goes to having like a burning desire. When I was at the bread factory, I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich. And it goes to that burning desire that I was like, man, I'm ready. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do it. I'm
Mm.
not the type of guy that I tell somebody, dude, I'm going to save up money and I'm going to join. And then a month later, I'm like, oh, dude, I thought it over. I don't think that much, right? When I decide I'm going to do something, and this has bit me in the butt more times than I can count, but it's also been one of my biggest strengths, that when I
Yeah.
decide I'm going to do something, I just go all in. I just do it. I burn the bridge. I burn all the boats behind me. Right? I just go do it for good or bad, and
Mm.
and I learn the lesson that comes after I achieve either the success or the failure.
Mm.
Right? So I knew I wasn't going to back down on my word. So it took me 4 months after that one day to save up the money. It was a lot of money to me. It was over $1,000, right? And I just didn't have it at the time, but I came up with the money, and the way I did it, just in case people wonder, like, how did you do that? Like,
Yeah.
though, like you that's watching, you probably work a full-time job. You probably resonate with the grind that I'm talking about. right? Waking up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. and doing something you don't want to do, but you have to do, and you get the work done, but you're being underpaid. Great. Like, you're being underpaid for the amount of potential that you actually have, right?
Yeah.
So what I did is I asked my boss for overtime every Saturday. I told him, look, pay me, you can even pay me less. You can pay me less than what you pay me on the weekdays. I don't care.
Oh.
Let me come in for like 5 to 10 hours every Saturday, and let me put in some work, right? Let me move some things forward. Right.
Mm.
And thankfully my boss, he gave me 10 hours every Saturday, 10 hours. And he didn't pay me less. He paid me the same exact wage. So that was an extra $100 a week for me. Right.
Yep.
So I worked every Saturday for 4 months for 10 hours extra. That pushed my hourly hours I was putting in every week to, from, 60 hours, 65 to 70, 75 to sometimes 80 hours. Right. And it was a grind. I didn't want to wake up at 7 a.m. on
Mm.
Saturday and go to the factory to do this work. I didn't want to, but I had to.
You have
Why?
to.
Because I follow through with what I say I'm going to follow through with, for good or bad. It's a curse, but it's also a bigger blessing than the
Mm.
curse. Right? I follow through, and it served me to this day. So fast forward 4 months, I went up to my boss. I said, "Hey, look, thank you so." I gave him a hug, and I really meant it. I'm like, "Dude, you literally got me off the street. You saved my life. Thank you for this job. Um, I want you to know I'm not quitting this job because I don't like it. I'm not quitting this job because it's not been a blessing to me. There's something I want to try out, and it's gonna take all my time. I want to go all in with it." And my boss said, "Sam, go for it. You
Mm.
have potential. Go for it. But like, could I borrow you for a day or two to train a new person? Then could you try instilling the habits you've had at this job? Because I was really good at my job, right? Like, could you try instilling as much as you can?" And I'm like, "Dude, no problem." Right? I left at good terms, or really
Yeah.
good terms.
Mm.
So after I left that Saturday, I was at my dad's house. Because I left on I had the money to finally start. I was on good terms with my previous employer. I was like, "Dude, look, we're brothers, man. Thank you." Right? I gave him a hug. "Thank you so much." Right? This guy's doing really good. Obviously the business was earning over $1 million a year. He's doing good. Right? I'm like,
Mm.
"Dude, thank you so much." I had no more regrets. Nothing holding me back anymore. I've let all bygones be bygones in the past, and I went all in. Right?
This.
I had exactly I had exactly $1,350.44. I drained that bad boy to zero. I drained it all to zero, all of it. It
Oh.
wasn't smart. Hell no. What would you? Any of your friends who's kind of savvy when it comes to money, if you told them you're about to do that, they're gonna try like persuading you not to do it, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not smart, right? It put me in a position of do or die. It put a lot of stress on me, a big
Mm.
stress on me, right? Because now I don't have a job anymore, so I can't pay bills if I don't make money. Something
Yeah.
to happen. But that ended up turning into a blessing,
Mm.
because now I was willing to do whatever it took to,
Whatever.
to, to raise money. And I was able to surrender my pride, surrender my ego, and just be coachable. Trust in my new mentor. I went up to my mentor that Saturday. I said, "Hey, look, man, I know the price already. What's your link?" He gave me the link. I paid right there. What's next? "Sam,
Mm.
watch these training videos 6 times minimum." Done. 4 days, I watched them 8 times minimum. Why? Because I'm
Wow.
used to working 12 to 14 hours a day. Right? These videos are 1 or 2 hours long. I just replaced one thing with the other. Right? I was spending 10 to 12 hours a day listening to the videos, watching it, taking notes. Like, it's almost like I really do believe in this, that college kids who are in college, that
Yeah.
put in all those like hours and all that stress on themselves, if they got all that energy and they invested the same amount of time on business, dude, like, they would make 5 figures. There's no way they would not make 5 figures if they took business as serious as they took their education. Because guess what? Business is education,
It's
right? It
literally.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to college to get a degree to go work for a boss who probably did not go to college but had the business savviness to create a business that hired the college. It's crazy. Whatever.
It's crazy.
That being aside, that's beside the point. Um, I joined the program, and I made $4,000 my first week. I was just very coachable. Like, I
Mm.
had nothing. I literally had nothing to lose anymore. I had no money in my bank. Like, I was broker. I had nothing more to lose. There's nothing more I could lose in my life. So I
Mm.
just did everything that man told me to do. I made 4,000 the first week, 10,000 the second week, 18,000 the third week, and I ended my first 4 weeks at $23,000. But keep in mind, those results are not typical. And the reason I want to say that was because they're only typical if you're willing to put in 10 to 12 hours a day. They're only typical if you're willing to grind. They're only typical if you're willing to do whatever it takes ethically to make the money. If you're willing to actually, if your mentor tells you, all right, dude, you're going to get into sales, and you're like, oh, I hate sales. I don't want to be a dirty salesperson. But if your mentor tells you to do it, you shut up and you do it. Because what do you know? That guy's a millionaire. You're broke. That's me to me. That's me to me, by the way. That's me to me. I have 44 cents in the bank. I am broke. I don't know anything. This guy does know anything. I need to take it down a lot of notches and just listen to the man, right? And because I was in that position, right, I listened, I made the money. And from that point on, 2 years later, we're here now. I've been a full-time entrepreneur. I've promoted many programs. I've trained hundreds of people. I've done live events, a lot of digital events, right? And now I'm at a point in my life where you never really feel that you've made it. I'm a very obsessive person. I learned this early on. I have a lot of energy. I learned this at the bread factory. I have a lot of energy where there's nights where I can't even sleep because I have so much energy bubbling inside of me that sometimes it's like I just catch myself spazzing. I'm like, woo, I just go, right? Because I have all this energy and I can't contain it. Right?
Yeah.
And I realized that instead of trying to fix it, why would I fix it if I'm not broken? It's a gift. It's a gift that I have that when I put it to something like business, I was able to produce results that a small percentage of of the American population that can even produce 23K from zero, right? Starting from zero all the way up to 23K in a month, right? Because I had all that energy. I had the obsessiveness, right? And if you're watching this and if you know exactly what I'm talking about, you know what you're obsessed with, whether that's, a type of drug, whether that's a type of addiction, right? Whatever, I'm being real, whatever you're obsessed with, that means you're obsessive, right? You never get over that obsessive nature ever. That's just a part of who you are as a person. What you do and what you can do, what's proven to work and what worked for me is you replace one addiction with another addiction. But that other addiction, it's a productive one. So for me, instead of spending, I'll be honest, instead of spending 12 to 14 hours playing video games, I spent 10 to 14 hours chatting with people on Facebook. I replaced one. It's still an addiction, but I replaced one addiction with another addiction that was more productive. And that addiction, because of that obsessive nature of mine, I was getting huge results. Like you saw me doing $2,000 a day, 3,000. I got all the way to $3,000 a day, and then another 1,000. I looked like I was a superstar, right? But the truth of it was that I was just a very high energy, obsessive guy that I just replaced my bad addictions with my good addictions, and I moved forward, and I went with it. I ran with it, right? And here I am now, right? Here I am now.
Wow. Oh my God, bro. That's an amazing story. And you've been very well detailed in every little piece of it, from just the working area, the environment, and laying out some different golden nuggets and advice to younger generation out there who will be watching this as well. And even for the older generation, never too late to learn and, to find your passion, to find your path, and to reinvent your new reality. So as a young guy, I think you're 23 years old, right?
I turned 23 next month.
Oh.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Pushing.
Wow. I want to say thank you for sharing that story. I think my audience would like to know, what is this training that your millionaire mentor had taught you that had gained you these results? And have you ever used them transferably in other parts of maybe your business or in other life?
Yeah, so it's called Millionaire Mentoring, which I'm pretty sure either myself, if you're watching this from my page, you'll see a button down below. I'm sure if you're watching from Ria's audience, you'll see a button down below. You can just click that button. It'll probably lead to a video or something explaining it. Just to put it in very layman terms, the way I understood it from the factory, in the Millionaire Mentoring program, you basically learn strategies on how to market and brand yourself on social media for free without having to pay for ads or anything. And now when you build a brand and now you have all these eyeballs, all this attention, we learn how to turn that attention into something tangible. right? Whether it's doing webinars, whether it's doing sales, we turn that attention into tangible assets, money, right? Into either money or something that you can touch, right? So that's basically what you learn in Millionaire Mentoring now. And when it comes to transferability, like how transferable it is, it's like anything, like any sales program you go through, any marketing program, you can always apply this to your life. Like, for example, when I learned about sales from my mentor, it wasn't like the typical sales where like you're pushy or anything. It was more like relationships. It was more about focusing on the other person. Now, this helped me become a better son. This helped me become a better brother. It helped me become a better friend, because now whenever I had friends of mine come to me for you know how friends are, right? They come to you when they're going through some shit. They just trust
Yeah.
you and they talk to you. I learned that instead of trying to give them advice, why don't I just listen and ask them more questions and get them really deep into what they're feeling, and then have them come up with solutions from their using their own words, instead of me having to convince them, hey dude, look, I think you should do that, you should probably get a therapist and do, instead of trying to convince them,
Yeah.
right? I let them come up with their own solution through using the sales techniques that my mentor taught me. And guess what? I became a better friend. Now my friends, they love my advice. They always come to me for advice because they know I'm going to give them really, I'm not even giving them advice. They're giving themselves the advice, but I'm just such a good receiver, and I'm
Yeah.
able to phrase things in such a good way that they may think of something that is like, holy shit, I didn't think of it like that. And it'll come up, they'll come with their own solutions. It helped me become a better son, where now if I want to help my mom with something, I know how to approach her in such a way that she'll consider doing the thing I want her to do. She'll consider doing it without it seeming like I'm trying to convince her on something, like I'm trying to sell something. When it comes to selling products, like for example, I'm in college, right? If
Yeah.
I was in college right now, I'll be honest, Ria, if I were in your shoes, I'm in college right now and I'm learning these skills on how to communicate, I would honestly be one of the most popular kids in that college campus. Why? Because I'll know how to gather groups of people, which are students, gather groups of people, provide value, whether that's, creating a study group, creating something that's valuable to students, right? I don't know what it is yet, but something that's valuable to students,
Yeah.
connecting the right people to the right people, and now being known as the guy who's connected with everyone, the guy who knows everyone, the guy who you go to that, like, take, for example, you're about to fail an exam and you really need a good tutor. And I just so happen to know a couple good tutors I can connect you with, right? You know what I mean? Like, you learn how to network, you learn how to really take
Yeah.
it to the next level and become a people person. That's the thing. You know who are the people who are the most successful on planet Earth? People. Like, if you're a people person, not a
Yeah.
people pleaser, not a people pleaser. No,
No.
a people person. When you realize that everything you ever want in life, usually you have to go through another human being to get it, right? Everything. You want to pass your class, you better be on good terms with your professor. You want to pass, you want to ask that boy or that girl out, you better have taken them on a date, or you better be really good with your words and really good with your follow through, right? To show them that you're in it for a serious relationship. You're not just joking around, right?
Yep.
These are skills that I learned with Millionaire Mentoring, that now I could become effective in anything I do. Whether if I work a job, if I were to work the bread factory again, like I would have been able to convince my boss to pay me more, guaranteed. Knowing
But
the skills I know now, yeah, because I would have interviewed him, I would have gotten on his good side, I would have provided him value, I would have found out, right, who are the people who are our customers that are buying from us, how can I provide them more value from our factory, and maybe now earn our factory more business? How can I get more referrals for us? My boss would be like, holy shit, this guy is connecting me with more clients. Now we're making more money. I think we're going to need an extra employee. And guess what? Now I become the manager. Like,
oh,
I'm telling you, like, knowing what I know now. Now this is something that's easy. Now it's easy to say and do because I've done it. Now I know what to do, right? But once you're exposed to this information, you can't not hear it. Now it's just a matter of whether you actually have courage to go do it, or whether you're just comfortable and you're not serious enough, and you're cherry picking things here and there because the pain is not serious enough that you're going to go do everything that the mentor teaches, right? So that's the Millionaire Mentoring Program. And that's how it transfers to real life for me. It
Mm-hmm.
just makes me more effective. I'm just a better human being for it. And it gives me not financial, I don't like using the word financial freedom. It gives me financial independence where now I know you can literally drop me in any country with nothing. And I have the skills to start earning a living. It may take time because I don't know the language yet. So I have to learn the language, all that stuff. But because I'm an effective human being, eventually I will be on my feet again in that country. And I'll get back to where I was right now. Right. So I hope the answer that was a little long-winded, but I wanted to give you a full answer. Full answer.
No, that was a perfect full answer. Especially
Cool.
it's more relatable to, like, I guess. Well, I'm a college student. There's probably other students who be watching this. So any younger people, younger audiences watching this as well, and they might, because I'm sure a lot of college students are actually working like
Yeah.
downtown, campus, off campus. So they're definitely going through that. So literally, your advice is gonna probably help them be managers as well.
Make friends, guys. When you're in college, you never know that student sitting right next to you could be a millionaire that you don't even know, right?
You
Like
know.
they could literally be a millionaire or
Mm-hmm.
up and coming. Imagine if you made friends with that person and everyone else around them. And
Mm-hmm.
who do you think they're going to think about when they own a business? Honestly, if you guys have an entrepreneurship class or a business class in your college campus,
Mm-hmm.
make friends with every single person in those find a way to make friends with them because you never if you're right now getting a degree and
Yeah.
your idea is to use your degree to get a job, why not become friends with all the people that are going to create those jobs? And guess who they're going to think about when they need somebody with your qualifications? They're going to think of you. Right? Like make friends right now. Do not hesitate on this. Make friends right now because you never know what can
Yeah.
happen later. This is how you guarantee yourself a job after college. Most kids don't have jobs after college. I have my best friend. I have a best friend. Yeah, he's after college, he studied coding and programming. There wasn't any jobs after college. He got screwed because he wasn't looking for jobs before that. He wasn't. Most college kids, their idea of success is let me get my degree and then after college I'm going to worry about a job. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, there's no lack of potential to a business owner. They'll
Mm-hmm.
hire people long before you graduate and you just missed your shot. You missed your opportunity. Right?
Ouch.
You have to wake up. People need to wake up, right? Wake up to the real world. I've always wanted to give that advice to college students. I wanted to take this opportunity now to speak my mind on it. And love me, hate me, you cannot say I'm not right on this, you know?
Oh wow, wow. That is, I would say, good advice. It really is. Us college students really have to wake up because I see a lot of us on campus personally. People are just, they don't even know what to do in their life. They're just waiting for the right moment, the right time,
Mm-hmm.
and the right job just to get them financially free or to just pay their student debt. When in actual fact, it won't really pay your debt. Because I even talked to some of my professors, they're like in their 40s and they're still paying their debt.
I know. It's
So
crazy.
it's
It's
really crazy.
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 I work with a lot of doctors.
Hmm.
Funny enough, you would think like, oh, doctors, they'll never look into making money on the internet. Well, people don't know. The average student who goes to medical school
Hmm.
has minimum $200,000 in debt. What people don't know, yes, they
Wow.
can pay that off. As a doctor, you make six figures. Yeah, they can pay it off. What they don't know, most of those medical students, they don't go into their own practice. They work for hospitals. When you're at the hospital, now you need to specialize. Guess how much money it takes to specialize in anything? Well over $100,000.
Oh, wow.
That's another 100, 200, 300K on top of the 200K originally from the school. Let's say your whole school was paid off, right? Because of your scholarships, all that stuff.
Mm.
You still got to pay to specialize. You still got to pay whenever a new license comes out or anything new comes out. You need to pay for that. People don't know that it takes money. It takes a lot of money, right? And you need to think of like a lot of kids are winging it
Hmm.
and they don't realize that one day you have to wake up and smell the roses and life will smack you. And I guarantee it. I hate saying this, but it's true. And hopefully some people wake up from this.
Hmm.
Most kids after college go into depression when life hits them and they realize, oh my God, I'm $50,000 in debt. There's nobody hiring right now. And now I am forced to live with my parents. I don't know what to do right now. and then they're gonna start the negative self-talk starts.
Yeah, self-talk.
I'm a failure. You know what? Maybe this was all. Maybe this just wasn't meant to be. Yada yada. All the self-talk, and you know, some kids aren't so lucky that they can go back to their parents, because some parents will tell them, "Good luck, good luck, figure it out," right?
Yeah, there are
So,
parents like that.
so that's the main message here, right? The main message is to just wake up and start thinking of these things now, and
Mm-hmm.
just take little small actions, little by little. Take some actions.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely consider, if you want to be an employee, like if you're sold on, not everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. That's respectable.
Sure.
If you want to be an employee, if your school has a business class, and almost every school has a business degree that
Yeah.
people are studying for, start finding ways to get into those circles of kids that they want to be business owners. You never know. They may even have a father, a mother, an uncle that owns a business, that the reason they're getting their business degree is to get qualified to work for their uncle or take over the dad's business. And guess what? Now you have a job guaranteed if it's the right. You never know.
Yeah.
Start focusing on that. It's a people business, guys. It's people. Get good at people. That's what you learn in Millionaire Mentoring. That's why over 2 years being in the program, I'm still in the program.
Yeah.
I'm still in the program. Imagine, like, so I'm one of the first people in my family who's made over $100,000 in an annual calendar year. But guess what? Just in the last 30 days, my mentor and his partner have made $1.5 million. Like, I've made not even a drop in the bucket, right? I know nothing. I literally know nothing. I'm still like a 2-year-old, right? Almost like, look at business like a kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 2 years in. I'm a 2-year-old. What does a 2-year-old know? How to say, now they no longer say goo goo gaga. Maybe they know how to say mama. They know how to say
Yeah.
papa. But what do they really know? They don't know nothing yet. That's kind of how I feel right now, and that excites me, because that means I have the next 10 years, 20 years of my life to, build something special. Maybe build a legacy that I can leave behind for my kids and for my family. I'm
Yeah.
very family oriented. I got into this because of my family. I'm the type of guy that I would do anything for my family. I want to make them proud. I want to build something for them, first, so that I can feel like I've done something with my life. But that's another topic. I know we kind of like a lot. I'll be honest. I even forgot the question you asked me.
No, but answer
Yeah.
my question. Actually, I have
Cool.
the final question. We have 6 minutes and 50 seconds because I know you have to go out with your friend.
Mhm.
My last question is, if a young person, actually, I don't want to just say young, it could be anyone who's watching this,
Mhm.
and they want to change their lives, and they hear your story and they feel inspired and they want to take that leap of action, but something is always holding them back. It could be a family, it could be a friend, it could be finances, it could be just self-doubt. What advice would you say to them, just
Yeah.
to bridge from away from that? Yeah.
So that's a really good question. This is going to come straight from like the deep, like this resonates really deeply with me. It's going to be very primitive, like the
Mm-hmm.
answer. I'm warning everyone,
Oh.
but it's like a light switch in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You have to flip the switch and say, "Fuck it." That's the best way of saying it. Like, it's almost like this. Imagine this. Let's say you want to ask a girl out, right? Like, for you fellas watching this, you want to ask a girl, the hottest girl in class. You really want to ask her out, right? You know she's single, right? You've seen that she's single, and you just want to go. You want to go shoot your shot, as they say, right?
Yeah.
It's as simple as you flip one day, you walk in class, you flip the damn switch, and you say, fuck it. And you go shoot your shot. You go make a move. You go at least become her friend and talk to her, get to know her, and then shoot your shot again and go for the boyfriend girlfriend thing, whatever. But it starts with flipping the switch and saying, fuck it. Here's something relevant in my business now. Today, I had to make, 5 to 10 phone calls to people that they kind of know me, but they don't really know me. So what
Mm-hmm.
did I do? I had to flip the switch, say fuck it, and call. Literally, dial the phone number, call. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Literally, they pick up, yo, 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 hey, what's up? Is this Mark? Yeah, hey, what's up? Who's this? Hey, dude, it's Samuel from Facebook. What? Oh my God, hey, what's up, Samuel? Hey, what's up, man? And I go from there, right? I go from there. I practice so much. I've like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 hours, following what our mentor teaches,
Mm-hmm.
that I just trust myself that whatever I'm gonna say is gonna be the right thing.
True.
Like kind of like the interview. Like I'm not really thinking, I'm just talking out of my instincts and my heart and what as things happened. So I can
Mhm.
trust myself to just hopefully I'm gonna share something that you and everyone else can take away. Right. So I
True.
would just flip the switch and say fuck it. You want to go start a business? Flip the switch, say fuck it. Even if it's gonna drain your bank account to zero, guess what? That's temporary. Yeah, it's gonna hurt for the first couple months, but why does it matter if you potentially make all your money back and then you have a $10,000 per month business? You wanna, let's say you wanna do a webinar. Those of you watching who are marketers, you wanna do a webinar? Flip the switch, say fuck it, and go make a post. Hey guys, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow at this time, and go figure it out. Say fuck it, figure it out. Right? Flip the switch. That's the best. That's actually probably one of my biggest secrets. And it's kind of weird. It's like almost you adopt a new personality when you just flip the switch. You start to see different areas of your life to apply it. Like for example, I'm taking a walk. When I'm walking, I have some days where I don't even want to look at anyone in the eyes. I just want to walk, mind my own business. I'm in my own thoughts. I just want to use my walk to relax, right?
Mhm.
But then I'm like, wait, dude, no. You deal with people every day. You cannot not deal with them, right? I flip the switch and I just look up. Anyone that passes by, good morning, good morning, good morning, right? Left and right, good morning, right? And if they say, oh, good morning, how's your day going? Oh, my day's going amazing. What
Yeah.
an awesome day we have today. And I just keep going. And I'm like the super happy go lucky guy. And that's very intentional. I just flip the switch. I don't want to do, sometimes I don't want to do it.
But you have to.
But when you flip the switch, it's almost like you lose the fear. You literally lose that side of yourself that holds you back. Like you lose the logical reasoning side of you, and
Yeah.
you just do the action. Like, and then guys, please use that advice for good. Use that advice for good, right? Because let's be honest, you can use that advice to do very negative things as well, right? Where you flip the switch and you stop thinking, you just go do it. Use it for good. Use it
Good.
for good, and I promise you, that's one of the things that even to this day benefits me greatly. So that would be my piece of advice for any students watching, any adult watching, that either wants to start a business, wants to learn how to become a better communicator, or just wants to figure out how can they be more effective so that they don't have to worry about never having a job after college or not having a career. Maybe you're 30 something years old, you're having that midlife crisis. You're
Yeah,
like, holy shit, I'm 30, I'm 35.
bro.
I haven't really done anything with my life. What am I going to do? Right? Just know there are ways to get yourself out of that position. That's not going to take you 15 years. It may take you 3 years or 5 or 10 years. But I don't know about you. I rather, even if I'm a millionaire by 45, a multimillionaire by 46, I promise you, when you have that money in the bank and you're a multimillionaire, you're not going to think about how long it took you. I know you aren't. You're going to think about, I'm a millionaire. What do I want to do now? Sure, you're going to probably think, I wish I would have done some of the things I do today. I wish I would have had the courage to do it before. But
Wish.
you're not going to hold on to that anymore because, man, the money's already in the bank. Right? You're going
Yeah.
to go and live your life. So flip the switch and go. Go.
Flip the switch and go. That's gonna be like the headline of this interview. Flip the switch and go.
Flip the switch and go. That's gonna help. I hope that helps you out too, Ria. I know you have a lot of exams coming up. Um, just
Yes.
flip the switch and go. Maybe you want to ask your professor something, but you're like, maybe you don't want to bother them. Flip the switch and go bother them. Just go ask the question. Shoot your shot. Go ask the question. Right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do
Take
that
it.
tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, come on. They're getting paid to help. Let's be honest. They're earning a salary, and their job is literally to teach.
True. True.
Right. So there's no need to feel bad about it. They're getting paid whether they help you or not. So you better go leverage that. Right. You go leverage that.
You're definitely right. I want to say, Samuel Mojica, thank you so much for the
No
advice.
problem.
Not only to me, but to everyone who's watching this. I hope they take a piece of advice that you get, whatever resonated with them, because this was truly a phenomenal. And congrats, success at
Thank you.
such a young age,
Thanks.
It's
Thanks. There should be a button, I think, guys. There should be a button down below, whether you're watching, whether Ria sent you to her page or I sent you to my page. There should be a button down below. It'll either say, get started now or whatever. By get started now, it just means get started on the same millionaire mentoring program that helped me out and still helps me out to today. and that's helped Ria out. So definitely go check that out. Doesn't matter where you are in your life, there are bits and pieces or even the whole formula that will help you out in any point you are in your life, whether you're at a crisis, you're at a high point and you're trying to pour gas and go higher, or you're at the, oh shit, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life point, right? And you want to get some direction. The program has a little bit of something for everyone. So definitely go click the button and check it out. Don't, as people my age would say, do not sleep on this.
Do not sleep.
Do not sleep on this. Right?
All
There's
right.
no hype on that. Just don't sleep on it. Don't be an idiot. At least go check it out. Right?
True.
Cool.
I think all we can say is flip the switch and go.
Flip the switch and go.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Samuel. I think right now it's 6 minutes to 8. I know you have to go out with your friend, and I'm gonna head off to study. I just want to say thank you immensely for this interview. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me on.
All right. Let me just stop this recording.
Yep. Same here. I just stopped the recording now. Cool. I got a lot of